Hello and welcome to another rapid revision video. This time we're looking at the development of the Nazi Party from 1919 to 23. It helps to have a big picture of how the Nazi Party developed over time. Firstly, the early years. This is when Hitler joined the German Workers' Party. He took control of it and shaped it into the Nazi Party. Secondly, the lean years. Here, Hitler reorganised the party, but it failed to achieve political success. And lastly, after 1929, the party was much more successful, support increased, and eventually Hitler won power. First, let's look at the development of the early Nazi Party. The key point here is that Hitler joined the German Workers' Party and then made changes. These changes made the party somewhat more effective, and they also increased Hitler's control of the party. Let's look at the main developments. Firstly, Hitler himself was a charismatic speaker. This attracted new members to the party. By 1924, membership had grown to 50,000 people. This also increased Hitler's control of the party, as many of these new members were loyal to him. Secondly, working with Drexler, Hitler wrote the 25-point programme. This was a manifesto or list of policies, including both nationalist and socialist ideas. This increased the appeal of the party. The nationalist policies appealed to wealthy conservatives, and the socialist policies appealed to workers. It also helped Hitler to gain control of the party, because it gave him control of the party's policies. Thirdly, Hitler took over the leadership of the party. He challenged Drexler in a leadership contest and won, and then he put people into key positions within the party. Now this was important because Hitler chose people specially for their skills and image. For example, Goering was chosen because he had many contacts among the upper class, while Röhm was chosen because he was popular with ex-soldiers. It also helped Hitler take control of the party, as he placed his supporters into key positions. In return, they owed him their loyalty, and we call that patronage. Finally, Hitler also created a paramilitary force called the SA. This was important because the SA impressed many Germans with their image of strength and discipline. The SA also played an important role protecting Nazi speakers and disrupting opposition parties. The SA also helped Hitler to control the party. He used it to control opposition to his leadership. Also, one unit of the SA was known as the Stoss Troop, and they acted as a personal bodyguard protecting Hitler from assassination. Now, the key turning point for the Nazi Party was probably the Munich putsch in November of 1923. This is when Hitler tried to seize power in Munich using his SA. Why did he do it then? Well, at that moment the Weimar Republic was particularly unpopular due to the hyperinflation and the French occupation of the Ruhr. Hitler was also inspired by Mussolini, who had seized power in Italy. Finally, Hitler also expected to gain the support of Bavarian officials, including von Kahr, von Seisser and von Lossow. He also had the support of Ludendorff, a war hero, and therefore he expected the army to support his putsch too. Now, in the short term, the putsch was a failure, but in the long term, it actually helped the Nazi Party. Let's think about why. Firstly, the putsch itself. In the short term, this was a failure because those Bavarian officials backed out and warned the Weimar government. The putsch was crushed and 16 Nazis were killed. But in the long term, it helped to establish the reputation of the Nazis as a party of action. They were able to use the putsch as propaganda to prove their heroism and commitment. Secondly, the trial. Hitler and the other leaders of the putsch were arrested, put on trial and accused of treason. But in the long term, this gave Hitler and the party huge publicity. It also allowed Hitler the opportunity to establish his reputation as the leading nationalist politician in Germany. Thirdly, Hitler's sentence. Now, Hitler was found guilty and sent to prison, and while he was there, the party was temporarily banned. However, Hitler was given a minimal sentence of 9 months, and the leniency of the judge encouraged the public to feel sympathetic towards Hitler and his actions. Finally, his prison term. Now in the short term this was a failure. While he was in prison, the party was led by Rosenberg, who wasn't a good leader, and the party began to split into rival factions. The party failed in elections, winning only 32 seats in 1924. However, in the long term, the prison sentence gave Hitler time for reflection. He decided on a change in tactics. He was going to win power through elections instead of seizing power by a putsch. And secondly, it gave Hitler time to write his book, Mein Kampf. Now it's time for you to test your knowledge of the early Nazi Party. Pause the video and have a go at these true-false questions. When you're ready, hit play. And here are the answers. If you want to take this further, here are 2 tasks you could try. If the video was useful, don't forget to hit like and to subscribe to our channel.